Many people told me that I was the first Black American they had ever seen in real life. And I am glad to say that so much has changed now.
Yeah.
There are so many more African Americans that are here in Africa attempting to blend in, attempting to be a part of the movement and the rise of Africa. Africa tends to lack its leadership. It tends to lack those people with the experience and know-how of how to direct the talent so that it can grow. The Nigerian artists are able to sometimes get 1 billion views on a video. So with a billion views, you made somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million. Okay. And so with $20 million, you're able to project and promote music around the world. The problem with other countries that they're not making any money.
All right, everybody, it's your boy Kev Kelly, the Kev Kelly, once again in the building. You know what it is.
What it is, you know.
Hey, I have my beautiful peoples right here that we are having a podcast, but I got a special guest for you in the house. Hey, yo, man, before I introduce to you the special guest in the house, Shalom, what's good, man? What's good?
Bro, you know what's happening in Africa right now?
Shalom, the last time I checked, you weren't in Africa.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, sometimes you have to move a little bit to see what's going on around the world.
V, what do you have to say about it? It's been long since you're on this show.
I tried to go to Ukraine and see how really someone could really enroll for that stuff. Our stuff didn't go well, bro.
Shalom, by the time you came back, you didn't find V on the show.
Are you sure?
What do you have to say about her?
This girl? This lady? She's hot.
I already say, so you know what it is. All right about now?
Yeah.
Are you ready to see the guest in the house?
And by the way, was sponsored by Peaceful Home Care.
Don't forget that.
They care about the elderly.
Peaceful Home
Care. Best in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? They improve lives.
Yeah.
And mostly care about the elderly, giving them good hospitality. Shout out to those guys out there. Thanks for the good work.
Yeah. Sheila, are you ready for the person I'm on bring on set?
Yeah. Bro.
V, are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm so ready.
Are you really ready?
Yeah. I'm so ready.
Because right now I got a big giant in the house.
Yeah.
When I say big giant, I mean big giant.
I mean the real African giant.
All right, everybody, I want to introduce you to our special guest in the house, Mr. Cedric Singleton. Oh my God! You can see see the cape. Yeah. You can see the cape in his head.
Yeah.
It's Black Market Records.
Black
Records.
Do you know what it means to be with the CEO of Black Market Records? Oh my God, Ced.
Legendary, bro.
Ced, you know we are really happy to have you on the show.
Well, thank you.
You really don't know how excited we are you being on the show, because we be having different podcasts, so you know, different kinds of topics of music, and now we have the big cats in the house that will talk about everything that we've been exploring, what deals with music, you know. CEO of BMR. Ced.
What's up? Thank you for that introduction, and I'm excited to be here with you guys.
I know, it's a pleasure. Yes. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Sheila, you met Ced. Right, Ced is my...
Ced is a big name, bro. Cedric Singleton. Bro, that's a legend, bro.
I know.
You need to go out and check him on Google.
Guys.
You know what I mean?
You guys really don't understand the gravity that is here right now, me talking to Cedric Singleton. He's not just a guest in the house, but he's actually my boss.
And a man with a passion.
I never get that time to interview Ced.
And a man with a passion for Africa to develop and to evolve into something that we dream about. Wakanda.
Forever. Thank you, Shiloh. Yeah. Me and Shiloh go back to COVID. We go back to COVID, yes. We were in the real struggle there.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Cedric really stayed around. He did contributions helping communities that were stuck without food, a lot of charity, up country where nobody could really want to go up there. And he really did a lot. I could tell you to really go check out his profile on Instagram.
Sure thing.
On social media, all social media pages, Cedric Singleton, and also Black Market Records.
Yeah.
Basically, he is the brainchild of what is happening in Ugandan music right now. But Cedric, please tell us exactly what about your hustle and what's been going on, and since
Yeah, you can run us through. By the way, said I take this as precious time because I know you're a very busy man, very busy. I believe right now you could, after this show, you could be flying. You're gonna fly. You're gonna catch your next flight.
Yeah.
So I really thank you for this precious time that you're giving us. Please run us through your biography.
Well, my biography starts in Sacramento, California, where I started a hip-hop record company in my bedroom. I had a studio there. Artists came. I started
in your bedroom?
In my bedroom. I had everything was at home.
Oh my God.
Everything was at home. But that was years and years ago. But since then, after about several hundred records, thousands of songs, hundreds of music videos, we are here now in Africa, right? And I consider it an honor to be here in Africa. Sometimes when I wake up, I say, man, are you really in Africa? Is this for real? And so my appreciation and observation of the opportunity that I have here in Africa is limitless.
Wow. So could you give us if someone saw you here and said, at first I see the black market, and I get the word black. Black. You Black American? Wait, what's your origin?
Well, first time I came to Africa was like 2009. First time I came to East Africa. And I remember during that time, many people told me that I was the first Black American they had ever seen in real life. And I am glad to say that so much has changed now.
Yeah.
There are so many more African Americans that are here in Africa attempting to blend in, attempting to be a part of the movement and the rise of Africa. I see Africa as a sleeping giant on the verge of becoming a real giant. Yes.
Okay. Say, I really want to. Let's talk music. Let's talk music.
Yeah, by the way, there's this talk about you've been in East Africa. Literally, you've been in Africa, not just the East Africa.
Yes.
Before you set camp here, and you've made Africa your habitation. At the moment, you're actually the first Afro-Black American who have seen who's really living in the country and getting time to move out of town and to deal with the people, like have hands-on experience, see what's happening on the ground, and try to engage different communities in different and try to scout for talent directly on the ground. This is very, very unusual. So with this a bit of experience, what do you think about African music based on the countries? Do you think Uganda or Kenya or South Africa, or actually there's a debate about is it Nigeria, South Africa, or Congo that has the best music in Africa?
I think when you comes in terms of what's the best music, everybody has their own opinion as to what the best music is. But who dominates the music scene right now are the Nigerians, without a doubt. Their music is, I hear it everywhere in the world that I go. I'm in Cuba, I'm in Ecuador, I'm in America, and I'm hearing the music and the sound of Nigeria. I'm hearing Omale, I'm hearing Asaka, I'm hearing Tim's. I'm hearing so many of the Nigerian artists, and there's a reason why their music tends to reach farther out than a lot of the other music in Africa.
What could be that reason?
One of the reasons is that they sing in English. They sing in a language that the rest of the world can receive.
I understand.
And sometimes when artists sing in their local language, it limits the potential of that music, even though every now and then songs take off. But if you listen to the Nigerians, all of those big songs, you see the song by, Asaki.
Yeah.
They're in hundreds of millions of views. And that's not by accident, that's by design. So the managers, the stakeholders in the music industry are clearly trying to reach beyond their local their local country.
You know about Cedric? He has single-handedly tried to move like a bulldozer, like bulldoze the music industry to the next level. He's worked within different African countries, and he's tried to advise, sit down, advise, talk to the artists, listen to their music, put in money. He has put in a lot of money.
Okay.
He has put in a lot of money in the artists, and not just the artists, not just the musicians, even the dancers. He has sponsored kids. He has sponsored education for some people. He's basically a philanthropist in charity. So, but when it comes to the music industry, because this is his passion, he has been so patient trying to advise people. And sometimes they're like, hey, this is Africa. This is how we do it. This is our sound. And it's like, yes, this is your sound. But you need to improve by doing A, B, C, D. Come to me, I help you. You know what it means?
Yeah.
So, Cedric, what has been your challenge so far? What is your biggest challenges so far?
My biggest challenge in Africa has been infrastructure first, and then just an understanding of how the music business works. Any business, any business has to have a set of rules. And sometimes in Africa, everything is freestyle. Like people don't honor some people don't honor contracts. Some people do. And so those have been my biggest challenges. It's never talent. There's so much talent in Africa. There's so many really good producers, so many talented artists, so many talented video directors, so many talented dancers. There's talent everywhere. But what Africa tends to lack is leadership. It tends to lack those people with the experience and know-how of how to direct the talent so that it can grow.
Yeah.
And you know something interesting, Cedric? Apart from you talking about the challenges and people not honoring contracts, I came across something similar to that. There was this artist who wanted someone, the label owner, to be putting money into their music, and without somehow imagining that they shouldn't demand it to be a business where they need to honor a contract and also receive returns on the money, or basically get their money back. When I asked them, why do you do this? They're trying to give me a rhetoric that, these people, they rob our money, they rob our rights, and this kind of thing. And then I'm like, no, what does the contract say? I know you signed a contract. So how do you address artists? Like, what do you think people need to know about the reality of the music industry in Uganda with labels, and what they should do to be successful?
Well, you have to have an understanding that this is the music business. And so if you're going to succeed in whatever it is that you're attempting to do, there's a business side of it. And if you want to be successful at anything, I think the golden rule is to help somebody else to be successful. Every time you are able to put other people in positions to succeed, you have to look at it as yourself succeeding. And so what artists have to understand is that when a record company comes and invests thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars into the music, they're not doing it for fun. They're doing it as an investment. They're doing it as a love for the art. And so they would expect that business to be able to recoup the money that they have invested in the music. If that doesn't happen, then the industry does not work.
Okay.
But some people don't necessarily need labels. I don't recommend everyone should be on a label. There are some artists who are capable of being on a record company. And so when I meet artists, I try to assess that. I try to assess whether or not this person would fit and be able to work with the record company, because there are restrictions. There are restrictions when it comes to a recording agreement.
Oh, so you first interview an artist before you sign him into a record label?
Yes.
I believe that can be way hectic.
Well, it's not so much of an interview. It's like the interview is very easy. All you have to do is watch the artist. it's very easy to see artists these days with social media.
And actually, said I actually noticed that with the Ugandan artists, you find that they actually find it hard reading contracts. Yeah, you present a contract to an artist, and then all we'll do is just look at the booklet and see like the first page, and then like.
Sometimes artists think that by signing a record agreement that means now that they're getting their rent paid. That's not really what a recording agreement is about.
All they want to hear is they cash.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
tuck the cash. He don't want to read the rules.
Yes.
But just tuck the cash.
Yes.
Well, how do you see that? Isn't it more like an inconvenience, the fact that he has not read the rules?
Well, we suggest and recommend that an artist get someone like an attorney to read the agreement. Take your time, read that agreement. If you don't understand what it says, then get somebody to explain it to you. And then you find another problem here is that there are not many people who understand the contracts, even lawyers. I find many lawyers do not understand.
Because actually the contract gets them at the end, in the course of the journey. Yeah, he gets to do something and you're like, that ain't right. Didn't you read the contract? It's like, what? The contract? Yeah, it was in the contract. So you end up getting issues like in a midway of the journey. You know?
Yeah. By the way, I know that there's also been some success stories
Yes.
in this industry, and I know you have countless.
Wait, Sheila, before you go into the success story, I'll need to get the success of Black Market.
Records. Yeah.
You say you started this in a room, your bedroom. Now that shows passion in it. Yeah, you had that passion. You started something in your bedroom. Personally, I have my own place. Yeah, and I'm trying to build a small condo. It's
Go
very
from
small.
there.
It's literally small like this room, but I'm trying to figure out. You talked about it. That's why I literally asked you a bedroom.
Yes.
Because mine too, I'm trying to study in a bedroom too. So, Black Market, how did you come up with the name? What's the origin of the name Black Market? Why was it a yellow market?
Yeah, I had a friend of mine who he's no longer with us, but I remember I had a recording studio, and we were just throwing around, what should we name the studio? He said Black Market. And as soon as I heard it, I said, that is it.
Just like that.
Yeah, that was it, Black Market. Yeah, I love the way that sounded. Yes.
You just love the way it sounded, Black Market.
Yes.
Did you find any issues like before I go into that? How many countries do you have this company?
Well, we have offices in Ghana, Cuba, the United States, here in Uganda, and in Kenya. But we represent artists in 20 African countries and about 30 countries around the world.
Okay. Yes. Did you find any challenges anywhere? You know, like the fact that the company is called Black Market. We have issues of racism moving everywhere. You know, I hear if you go to like the States, did you find any inconveniences with just the name of the company, like Black Market? Did you find out people ask you why it's not White Market?
Yeah, well, not really, because people understand what the black market is, and most people who are into music are creative thinking type of people. So I haven't faced that challenge anywhere. Sometimes it's usually older people that may have that type of I don't know what's confusion when it comes to black market.
Yeah, sure. Sheila, you're talking about a success. Now I'm trying to bring you from the roots of the success.
Sheila, let me throw in a quick one. Okay, yeah. Cedric, we all know that African music, when it comes to African music, like these two global record labels, that's Marvin Records and the Black Market, of course, the Black Market. But when it comes to Nigerian music, like Nigerian artists, I don't know why Nigeria is being vast and global when it comes to their music and business. When it comes to music, damn, it just hits everywhere. Like America, you fly to America and people know Asake. Like he's a good artist and all of that. Why isn't he like when it comes to the black, like to some other countries like South Africa, like Uganda, Kenya, like Ghana, where you say like that there is an office of Black Market in Ghana? Why is our music not being versed?
Well, the reason why you hear Nigerian music around the world is because they make money.
Yeah.
The Nigerian artists are able to sometimes get 1 billion views on a video. So with a billion views, you made somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million. Okay. And so with $20 million, you're able to project and promote music around the world. The problem with other countries that they're not making any money. They're not making enough money to be effective outside of their own country.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
So a lot of times I find most of the record companies in Africa are all local minded. Mm-hmm. They're all within the borders of their country. It is virtually impossible to just make money from your country. It doesn't work like that. You may be able to make show money, but you won't make the Nigerian level of money or the American level of money because they are trying to sell music around the world. There are 205 countries. And so doesn't it make sense to try to sell music in as many marketplaces as possible? Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times the local mentality of record companies is just about their local community. And that limits your ability to expand. Our goal has been to not be like that. Yeah. This is the reason why we represent artists from across Africa. Okay. We are trying to push Ugandan music in Ghana, trying to push Ugandan music in Kenya. We're trying to push it around the entire continent and therefore around the world. And so first things first in business, nobody's going to be investing money in something that they do not make money from.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of times you see companies will fall out of business because they just don't make money. And they spend money on the wrong things. And so there is a creative side to the business, and then there's a financial business side of the business. And to succeed, you have to have both right, because these videos are not free. The studio time, the marketing, the promotion, the staff, the travel, none of that stuff is free. Yeah. And if you're not making money, you cannot do it. And if you do not have a well-managed organization behind you, you will not succeed. Yeah. You may succeed in your local marketplace. They say you could be a big fish in a small pond, right? Yeah, or you can be a big fish in an ocean, right? Yeah. And so what our goal and perspective is to try to be a big fish in an ocean. We want to be a whale in the ocean.
Yeah. Actually, Cedric, we all know that you have worked with Snoop Dogg. Yeah. And Tupac. Actually, some of us didn't get to meet him and all that. Yes. May his soul rest in eternal peace. So I got a question for you. Why do you think that most black African Americans, when they hit it they're on top, they don't want to come back here in Africa to share that experience with us, make Africa grow, make it verse. I don't know. I don't understand that. Can you please enlighten more about her?
Well, I can speak to some people. Some people are just have a inhibition towards Africa, because Africa in America does not represent what the reality of Africa. They've been told something else about Africa. When I grew up as a child, all that I knew about Africa is that people were starving.
Oh my God.
People were people still lived in huts, and that people were suffering.
Oh my
God. And
God.
so people do not want to be associated with that image, right? There are people that just don't want to be a part of that. They want to be a part of somebody that is winning. And so as of late, with the internet, with the leveling of the playing field, the true image of Africa is beginning to emerge. With the success of music, with the success of movies, there's a different story that is being told about Africa. And as we speak, more and more and more African Americans come to Africa. I mean, I think that I may have brought maybe 10 to 15, 20 people who would never have come to Africa had I just not said, let's go to Africa.
Let's try it out.
Yeah, let's go to see what's happening. Because first time I came by myself.
Okay.
Because I'm fearless, right? I came alone. I didn't know one person in East Africa, right?
Okay.
And sometimes I am humbled by the fact of how many people that I have met and how many good people that God has placed in my path.
In Africa.
In Africa.
Yeah.
Tell us about your first day experience in Africa. basically, how it all unfolded.
Like you coming here and
before
finding
going
out
to the
that
first day,
Africa-
say the last time we was having an interview on we was having a podcast talking about the Kenyans, and I mean a Nigerian, Nigeria, and then one of the guys said that the first time they stepped in Uganda, all they saw was dust, borders, noise, slummy areas.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
They have no villages in their country.
I know, but he actually said Rwanda was clean. He had no problem with Kenya and
But Rwanda
Tanzania,
is more
but when
like
he came to Uganda,
just like a small town in Uganda.
when he came to Uganda, he just kind of found the problem.
It's a small country, like a big thing word.
Yeah.
So, we'd want to know, said, what was your first experience when you stepped into African soil?
In Africa, finding out that we ain't starving because Africans, we ain't starving. Yeah, true. We ain't starving. We ain't beggars and all that. So please, you're finding out all of that and you're like, damn, these people were lying to me. How did you feel, bro?
No, I never believed that. I was somebody who read books about Africa, so I wasn't just a guy who was consumed by what I saw on TV. Growing up, I tried to read a book from every country in Africa.
Yeah.
So my understanding of Africa was different when I got here,
smart.
right?
Yeah.
So,
Smart, bro.
Yeah, he is.
but my experience was a beautiful experience. I didn't see any of the things that guy saw. I just saw a bunch of beautiful black people.
Yeah,
I saw
thank
black
you.
people everywhere, and I loved to be around black people. I love that feeling, right? And it made me feel at home.
Yeah.
Like, I remember walking out of the airport, and a lady walked up to me and said, "Do I need any help?" And she said, "Do you need a phone?" Her name is Maggie. And that was many, many years ago.
Okay.
And she is still my friend to this day.
Oh,
And the relationships, the friendship, and the welcome that I felt when I came to Africa is bar none. I've been to over 80 countries, and there's no place like Africa. And so I don't have that negative perspective of what I saw when I came to Africa. I saw love. I saw that I was welcome. I felt comfortable here, and that's my experience.
This is the first testimony I'm hearing from him only. Yeah, but I heard it from different people.
Yes.
In Africa. So far, you've been here a couple of years. And what has been your best pick among the artists that you've come across where you do not regret having picked such a guy?
In Africa.
Let me talk. Let me start everything with Daddy Andre, because Daddy Andre is the reason why I am here today.
Okay.
I met Selector Jeff on Instagram. Just me, being outgoing and chatting with people around the world. I sparked up a conversation with Selector Jeff, and after a couple of days talking, he said, "Why don't you sign me and my roommate?" I said, "Well, who's your roommate?" His roommate was Daddy Andre, and at the time, Daddy Andre was just a producer. And after a couple of months went by, and then he sent a song to me. I remember being in the office in California, and they said, "This guy, Daddy Andre, sent a song."
okay.
How many years ago, say?
That was 2018, I think. 2018.
28.
Right.
And so he played the song, and I said, "Is that our song?" I said, "Are you serious?" Yeah, it was. Is that our song? I said, "I thought he was a producer, right?" They said, "No, he's an artist." And the song was Lydia Jasmine and Daddy Andre, You and I.
Yes.
So I was like, "Wow, that's a hit. That is a good song." And that was the first song that we released from this marketplace.
Actually, that was a hit song. I
Yes,
remember.
and it
It
was
a
hit
song.
after hit after hit. And all that credit goes to Daddy Andre, being one of the most talented, hardworking producers, artists in the world. I don't just say
Can I
Uganda.
joke a little bit? Yeah. Now you're gonna move. I'm a scholar. Yeah, I'm at campus. Yeah, and I've been through school and different places. But when you talk about Black Market Records, now when you talk about Daddy Henry, now I get to see the clear picture.
Yeah.
When you talk about Black Market Records, the first thing someone's gonna come up in mind, Daddy Henry's company.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they actually think it's his company. Yeah.
Well, for me, I always told Daddy Andre, if anybody say it's your company, hey, look, don't stop them. Because because this is not something that I can claim to be my own.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do it all by myself.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
not
a
that
team.
guy that will be saying like this is mine and it's not yours. This is all of ours. We have all built this, and so there are so many people who should feel pride in the success that we have experienced, because it was not just me. I can't do all of these things by myself.
Yeah.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know, that is the Ugandan story. There's a time I saw you pick someone get someone out of the blue, and you enabled them, you instructed them, you guided them into having millions of views on their music, and that was Angela Katatumba.
Yes. Yeah. My good friend. Yes.
Yeah. and you've tried to help every other artist. But then I realized that every artist who follows exactly what you tell them and goes according to your exact script usually succeed in music. As opposed to those who do not follow your script and who are always complaining and who are always impatient.
Yeah.
And now tell us about the Mbuzi gang, because you see Mbuzi is a word that, I don't know. Tell us about the Mbuzi gang, because Mbuzi means so many things, connotations in Africa. You know, it means someone stupid sometimes. It means a goat. It means
Well, let me explain Mbuzi.
So tell us about the Mbuzi gang.
Mbuzi for those guys means goat. Yeah. Greatest of all times.
Oh, okay.
Guys, you heard that?
The greatest of all times. And so that Mbuzi gang all starts with the guy, for me, like Daddy Andre is in Uganda, that guy in Kenya is Jofis. Okay. Jofis was the first guy that we signed in Kenya about the same time we signed Daddy Andre. And I have followed his leadership. I have followed his suggestions. And for me, listening to that young man is the reason why we have succeeded in Kenya.
Yeah.
Okay. Last year we did a song called Kuna Kuna, which is the #1 stream song in Kenya. And this is all a result of Jofis, right? All of the people that he has brought to Black Market. We had the #3 song, Kaski Babaya, by Father Mo, which is at about 11 million views. And then we had, in the top 6 songs, we had 3 songs. And all of that can be attributed back to Jofis. And so Jofis is the founding member of Mbuzi Gang, which includes Father Mo and I Foolish. And so those guys all have solo careers, but they continue to work together. But in Kenya, we also have Mbuzi Gang. We signed the Sailors. We have Boondocks Gang, Chungulu family. We have a really strong lineup in Kenya. So we have a very strong organization there, and they continue to work very hard and be creative.
You're talking about working hard. Let me interrupt you there. Tell us, come between the makeup and the skin. Tell us the facts. I have a bias. I think Kenyan artists work really hard compared to Ugandan artists. Is it true?
Well, I think the artists here work hard too, but sometimes I hate to generalize anybody, but I think that the team in Kenya, they work together. Yeah. When I go to the studio, we have an office in the studio there. We got 2 studios. When I'm there, I see collaboration. I see Father Mo with X-Ray, with Mbuzi Gang. They're just everybody. They're always working, always trying to push the creative envelope. They're not trying to follow what other people are doing at the time. They're trying to create their own sound. And I would say that is the differences that I see between the 2 locations, that they are so willing to work together in Kenya and raise each other up. Whereas sometimes in Uganda, there tends to be more of a selfish, struggle, what do I get out of it type of attitude, right? And so therefore you limit yourself, because you're not building relationships. You're not building the types of collaboration that it takes to succeed. You cannot succeed by yourself.
Teamwork.
It's going to be teamwork. Nobody can win by themselves.
Testimony of Ced, because I've been Ced in different sets, and I can see he's the type of person that loves teamwork.
Yeah. You know, there's an artist who's really good. I met her recently, and someone was trying to tell me, get her a manager. So the first question I asked her I asked the person who you know what they call in Luganda, one of the Ugandan languages, tribes, they say okulowoleza. It means to think for somebody. There are people here who specialize in thinking for other people. So I asked the person who thinks for her, so that in case she makes a mistake, out of his advice, she's like kind of insured. She knows who to blame, like everybody knows who to blame. So I get this guy and ask, what does it take to sign that girl? Because she's been in the industry this couple of years and time is running out and she's really gifted. She's as gifted as a Zawi. So he was saying, or he said to me that, do you have the money? I said, if the money is there, if I can get her somebody with the money, what next? Then you have to do the music. Then I asked him, is she willing to do exactly what the person says before the person puts their music there? No, she has her own music. And I said, is she willing to do everything he says? That one, it depends. All she needs is the money. Do you have the money? I say, it's the problem right now. The problem is not about the money. Is she willing to yield and give in fully to contract and principle?
Let me say this.
You come across such stuff?
Let me say it takes more than money. There are a lot of guys in Africa who have a lot of money who have not been successful. It's not about money. It's about information. Yes. It's about knowledge and discipline.
Yes.
It takes money. But there are a lot of guys who have spent a lot of money on this business and have achieved absolutely nothing. So it's beyond just money. You got to have an organization and a plan and a strategy and the experience to make the right moves and to do the things that will advance a career. And a career is not going to be 1 year. It's not going to be several months. If you're going to invest as a record company and an artist, you're looking at least 3 years of hard work to try to break an artist in a very competitive marketplace.
Yeah.
And by the way, you know something about one weakness about some artists in Uganda that I noticed compared with the other artists in different countries? Of course, there's some few artists in Uganda also who try to do opposite of what these people do, the ones I'm going to class. There are people who are there and they're like, hey, we can sing.
We can sing.
We can sing.
Yeah.
I just need to record the music. I put it out there. And you're like, hey, what's your plan? What's your strategy? Are you going to do networking on behalf of the company, of the label that is signing you? Because it's another thing to be signed.
Yes.
But it's another thing to show the passion and you move your own stuff. Yeah. Can you build up your own network and be able to move on the ground? Go to happening places, introduce yourself, talk to the DJs, talk to presenters so that your music becomes like easily flows. And they had no plan about that. I don't know if you've come across such people.
Yeah, for me, it takes more than an artist to be able to sing because having a talent just represents the potential. Yeah. Now, what happens when that artist who has this talent faces hard times?
Yeah.
How hard are they willing to work? And the way that I usually determine that is based on what they have already done before they meet me. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so an artist that just has the ability to sing, I'm not interested in that artist. Right. True. I'm interested in that artist who has the ability to make songs. Right. The more songs that artist has been able to make says that artist is committed. How committed are you if you can sing but you have no songs? You're not serious, right?
Say that.
Yeah, I've heard my mom sing. My mom sing. She sing very well, but she doesn't have any songs. Once I sign an artist, my signing that artist says that I have confidence in the artist, right? Yeah. And so I am not the artist. I'm an old man. So my opinion on music is not what I rely on. What I rely on is the artist because I sign you to be an artist. I sign you to create. Not for me to create. And so I get out of the way of the creative process, right? I allow artists to have the freedom to create. I'm not going to try to determine what they're doing. I say, you go to the studio and you make music. I'm going to put you in the environment of other people who are talented, and maybe you guys can do something that is special. Yeah. And it's a beautiful thing to see when it comes true.